Hello everyone, today I am here with you one more video on electrical braking of a three-phase induction motor. In this video, we will see how the electrical braking can be applied in case of an induction motor. What are the various types of electrical braking that we can use in an induction machine? I hope after watching this video, your all the concepts regarding the braking, particularly in case of a three-phase induction machine, will be clear. But after that, if you have any doubt or if you have any comment, you can comment me in my comment box, and also you can message me. Your queries will be most welcome to you, and I will try my best to resolve all the queries shared by you people. So before starting about the electrical braking of a three-phase induction motor, first of all, we have to know what does this induction motor. Induction motor is also known as asynchronous motor, and it is commonly used as an AC motor. The electrical current in the rotor needs to produce a torque is obtained by electromagnetic induction from the rotating magnetic field of the stator of the winding. The rotor of the induction motor can be a squirrel cage or it can be a wound type rotor. As I have already told you that an induction motor is basically a asynchronous machine. That means it is a machine that operates a speed less than its synchronous speed. So first of all, we have to be noted down that what do you mean by this synchronous speed? Because when you noted about the synchronous speed, after that you can get an idea how this speed can be reduced, and this speed can be reduced by the help of this electrical braking. Now the synchronous speed is the speed of the rotation of the magnetic field in a rotatory machine, and it's depend upon the frequency, the number of poles of the machine. The induction machine always runs at a speed less than the synchronous speed. The rotating magnetic field produces in the stator create a flux in the rotor, hence the causing the rotor to rotate. Due to the lag between the flux current in the rotor and the flux current in the stator, the rotor will never reach its rotating magnetic field speed. That is known as synchronous speed. I think this is clear to all of you. Basically, the synchronous machine is an induction, asynchronous machine is an induction machine, and this induction machine is of two types that depends upon the nature of input supply. For example, if the nature of the input supply is single phase AC, then it is called as single phase AC induction machine. And if the nature of the input supply is three phase, then it is called as three phase induction machine. The single phase AC machine is not a self-starting, whereas a three phase AC machine is a self-starting. We have number of machines that are categorized as single phase induction machine and three phase induction machine. That is the split phase induction machine, capacitor start induction machine, capacitor start, capacitor run, shaded pole machine. These are the category under single phase induction machine. Whereas in case of three phase AC machine, we have squirrel cage induction machine, slip ring induction machine. So this is a basically an overall idea. What does it mean? What do you mean by this induction machine? Because when you have to apply the braking on the induction machine, you must be noted down what do you mean by this induction machine. So nutshell, we can say that an induction machine is a asynchronous machine, and asynchronous machine is basically a AC machine in which it rotates without a synchronous speed, and this synchronous speed is ultimately dependent upon the frequency and the number of poles. I think up till that state it is clear to all of you. Now coming to the next part, we are applying electrical braking in case of a three-phase induction machine. As I have already discussed, an induction motor are mostly used as a motor in present days for domestic as well as industrial purpose. But controlling of AC motor is little bit difficult as compared to the DC motor due to the alternating nature of the supply voltage. The speed control of the induction motor is also difficult as compared to DC motor. But if you talk about efficiency, if you talk about its robust nature, the induction motor has a lot of disadvantages. So you can say that this induction machine is having disadvantages, but at the same time, efficiency point of view, a robust point of view, reliability point of view, this induction machine has many advantages. Coming to the part of the main topic, that is braking. Braking means to lower the speed of the motor, to stop the motor. And we all know, as I have already discussed in my previous video for the braking, that the braking is basically of two types. There is a mechanical braking and electrical braking. In order to stop a motor, firstly we are applying the electrical braking, and when we apply the electrical braking, the speed of the motor is reduced to a greater extent, and when this speed is almost equal to zero, at that time we can apply the mechanical brake, because directly we cannot apply the mechanical brake. Why? Because in mechanical braking we have disadvantages like heat dissipation. Mechanical brakes also depend upon the skill of the operator. Whereas in case of electrical braking, it is very easy, it is reliable, it can stop the induction motor very quickly. So we go electrical braking in case of an induction motor, though the motor is brought to rest. To maintain its state of rest, mechanical brake must be required. So as I have already explained you to, in order to stop the vehicle, or in order to stop the motor from its running condition to its stationary condition, first of all we have to apply the electrical braking, and once the speed of this motor is reduced to a greater extent, after that we are apply the mechanical braking. Now first of all, the type number one, that is dynamic or a rheostat braking in case of an induction machine. In this braking, a high resistance is inserted in the rotor circuit of the induction motor with the help of rheostat. In the braking of three-phase induction motor, whenever we need a braking, one of the supply line out of R, Y and B phase is disconnected from the supply. So depending upon the condition of the disconnected, we have classified as two categories. The diagram which will be shown later on to. The number one will be two lead connection. In this method, the line disconnected kept open. This is shown in figure A, and it is called as two lead connection of rheostatic braking. This is your figure A. Here, the terminals will be disconnected and it will be kept as an open circuit. Whereas, second point, that is three lead connection. In this method, after the disconnection of the line, it is directly connected to the other line of the machine, so that it will be act as a regenerative for another machine, as shown in your figure number 2. This method is only suitable for slip ring or wound rotor induction machine, mind it. So I think it is clear to all of you. This is the torque speed characteristics of an induction machine when we apply the brake. Here we have seen that as one of the motor terminal is disconnected from the supply, the motor continues to run as a single phase motor. In this case, the breakdown torque, that is the maximum torque, decreases to 40% of the original value and motor develop no starting torque at all. Due to the high rotor resistance, the net torque produced becomes negative and the braking operation is obtained. The figure shows the torque slip characteristics of a three-phase induction machine, on which we have on x-axis we have a slip and on a y-axis we have a torque, and we have different values of slip, that is slip is equal to 0, slip is equal to 1, slip is equal to 2, and accordingly we can plot the torque slip characteristics of an induction machine when we apply the electrical braking on that. Number 2, that is called as plugging. Plugging induction motor braking is just applied to reverse the supply of the phase sequence. As I have already explained to you in the previous video of the plugging, that in case of a plugging, what will be happen, we can change the connections of the live wire, or we can change the connections of any two terminals. So by interchanging the connection of any two phases of the stator, we can attain a plugging braking in case of an induction motor. Due to the reversal of phase sequence, the direction of the rotating magnetic field get reversed. The torque is in reverse direction and motor tries to rotate in an opposite direction. When motor tries to rotate in opposite direction, the time will come when its speed is equals to 0, and at that time we are applying the brake. So when we apply the brake, the vehicle gets stopped or a motor gets stopped. So this is the example for in case of a plugging on an induction machine. We have disadvantages as well as we have some advantages. Like during the plugging operation, a very high I square R loss occur in the form of a heat. This heat is more than produced when the rotor is normally torqued. So if you not remove this heat to the outer, then it will damage to the winding of the machine. This is one of the most disadvantage in case of a plugging. We can't apply the plugging frequently due to the high heat produced in the rotor, which damage or melt the rotor bars. Whereas on another node, it has certain advantage, like it's the quickest way, very easy approach to apply the electrical braking. And here the diagram indicates about the plugging, where we can see we can change the connection, that R and Y connection will be changed on the stator winding, and accordingly your motor will get stopped. So this is the example in case of a plugging in induction machine. Your number 3 is called as DC braking on an induction motor. This is also similar to the dynamic braking of an induction motor. Connection of the stator are disconnected from the supply and is connected to the DC source. When DC source is supplied to the stator, stationary poles are produced in a stator. As the rotor is rotating, rotor cuts the flux and EMF will be generated. Thus the AC voltage get introduced in the rotor. This voltage produces a current in the rotor, and motor now acts as a generator, and R losses are dissipated in this form. So the dynamic braking in this method can be achieved. This is the quick way to stop the induction motor with high load, but only disadvantage is again that it produces a lot of heat during the braking time, and if the heat will be not separated from the motor, it will tend to melt the rotor bars or the winding of the machine get damaged. As advantages, quick, less heat as compared to the plugging, but no doubt the heat will be generated. Heat generated dissipated in the rotor is not dependent upon the magnitude of the DC current. The braking torque is proportional to the square of DC current, can be used in wound rotor, squirrel cage rotor, induction motors, etc. So this is the diagram where we can see how this can be achieved. Your last point, that is a regenerative braking in induction motor. We all know in case of a three-phase, the power will be 3 VPH IPH into cos phi, where phi is basically the phase angle, the angle between the voltage and the current. Now here this angle will be less than 90 degree, as we know. So here we have the petrol engine external device. The output of this engine is mechanical, electrical. The input will be mechanical and the output will be electrical. This electrical output will be given to the induction motor, but here the speed is greater than ns, and after that it will be go to the supply lines. When the induction motor runs above the synchronous speed, the relative speed between the conductor and the air gap rotating field reverse. As a result, the phase angle, because the greater than 90 degree rotor produces the torque in the opposite direction to achieve the braking, thus regenerative braking takes place. Regenerative braking of an induction motor can be applied only in case of constant frequency and speed must have above the synchronous speed. So you can say that if the speed of the machine is greater than this synchronous speed, then this type of braking can be employed. But if the machine speed is less than the synchronous speed, then this type of braking cannot be employed. So the only condition to apply this type of braking in an induction machine is that the speed of the motor will be greater than the synchronous speed. So this is the torque slip characteristics for a motoring and a generating action. Clear? So this is all about the braking used in induction machine. So you can see we are basically using a 4 type of braking system in an induction machine. Rheostatic braking, number 1, plugging, DC motor braking, and regenerative braking. Every braking has its advantage, every braking has its disadvantage, every braking has certain point where it can be used, it cannot be used in anywhere, it can be used in dependent upon machine to machine which type of braking can be employed. So on a nutshell we can say that for applying the braking in case of a 3-phase induction machine, we have total the 4 methods: plugging, regenerative, rheostat, DC braking. The point of application of the braking, it depends upon the nature of the input supply, the synchronous speed, speed greater than synchronous or less than synchronous speed, and area of application. I think with this video, your all doubts will be cleared related to the braking employed in 3-phase induction machine. You can watch this video carefully. All the concepts are to be clear, but still if you have any doubt related to the braking employed in an induction machine, you can comment me, you can message me. Your comments and your messages are always welcome to you. So with this, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you once again.